Chiefs news, analysis, and opinion every day. Guys, I'm going to get esoteric for a moment. Just a moment. I'm going to get real weird, real fast, but it's because of something to do with the Kansas City Chiefs. I promise you that. I'm going to bring it back around. You're not just going to listen to me talk about what is probably on the larger scale nonsense. Poetry is a word that is famously difficult to define. Not all poetry rhymes. Not all poetry has 12 lines, 16 lines, 14 lines. Not all poetry has more than one stanza. All of these things about the form of poetry make it difficult to put your finger on the pulse of just what poetry is. But I contend there is one word that makes it very much more understandable. The word is defamiliarization. It is a Russian formalist term, very old term, but it was maybe summarized best by Ezra Pound, who said, "Make it new." In the literary sense, this is kind of like, have you ever taken a couple days away from your house? And then you go back and you open up the door and you realize, oh, I smell like that, right? That feeling is poetry. Defamiliarization is something that is important to help a person contextualize a thing. We, as Chiefs fans, see, I'm bringing it back. We, as Chiefs fans, I believe, have lost some of the context of what it means to be a Chiefs fan in this moment. So what we have to do every once in a while is to defamiliarize it, to take something we know, Patrick Mahomes, for instance, and defamiliarize that text, make it new. We have to realize something that we know. Does that make any sense? Probably not. But we have an article from CBS titled NFL's Highest Paid QBs. Brock Purdy joins top 10. Dak Prescott remains highest paid per year. Purdy is one of several stars who have gotten huge contracts this offseason from CBS by Zachary Perelis. The reason I want to bring this to you is because Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, has been to 5 Super Bowls, is the owner of 3 Super Bowl rings, has been to 7 consecutive AFC Championship games, has never not been to the AFC Championship game, has never not won his division, has never not won at least a playoff game in a season. We've lost all context on that. We are so close to this thing that it doesn't make any sense to us. We have to make it new in order to appreciate. The article starts as such. With NFL salary caps continuing to balloon, the contracts individual players are getting are following suit. San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy is the latest to cash in, with the former Mr. Irrelevant signing a 5-year, $265 million contract extension, according to CBS Sports and NFL insider Jonathan Jones. The $53 million average annual value on the deal ranks tied for 7th at the position, behind only Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, and Tua Tagovailoa. There's something interesting about that group of quarterbacks. I can't put my finger on it. There's something very interesting with the group of names, the highest paid quarterbacks in the league: Dak, Josh, Joe, Jordan, Trevor, and Tua. I got it. None of them have Super Bowl rings. That's it, isn't it? None of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL have a Super Bowl ring, do they? The reported $180 million guarantee, if accurate, would rank 8th. The total value of $265 million is 5th behind Patrick Mahomes, Allen, Lawrence, and Burrow. Prior to Purdy, Josh Allen was the most recent quarterback to break the bank with the Bills superstar, receiving a 6-year, $330 million extension from Buffalo. Now, I'm not going over the yearly totals because we're going to get to that in a moment, but the deal includes an NFL record $250 million guarantee. Allen still had 4 years and $140 million left on his current deal, but after an MVP season, the Bills rewarded their franchise cornerstone with a deal that ties him to the team through 2030. That's interesting. 2030 is the same year through which Patrick Mahomes is tied to the Kansas City Chiefs. But unlike Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes did not leverage his position against the franchise after winning an MVP. He just did it when his contract was expiring. He certainly earned the pay bump after becoming the first player in league history with at least 25 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns, as well as 10 or fewer interceptions. That is the more niche you have to make a statistic, probably the less impressive it really is. Patrick Mahomes threw for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards in a season. Truly impressive. That's just 2 statistics. Josh Allen had 25 passing touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, and 10 or fewer interceptions. It's a real weird statistic to get into. Allen is one of the NFL's all-time great success stories, regarded as extremely physically talented but raw and inaccurate coming out of Wyoming. Allen was selected 7th overall in 2018 after a so-so rookie season that included plenty of flashes, but also more interceptions, 12, than touchdown passes, 10. Allen improved in his second year and then took a huge jump his third year, finishing second in MVP voting. He has been outstanding ever since, and over the past 5 seasons, only the Chiefs have won more games. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs keep being referenced without being talked about. And we're going to get to exactly why in just a moment. Of course, Allen and the Bills fans are tired of being behind the Chiefs in just about anything. Kansas City defeated Buffalo in the AFC Championship game this season and has knocked the Bills out of the playoffs in 4 of the past 5 years overall. But Allen's latest deal ensures the Bills will stay right with the Chiefs as top-tier Super Bowl contenders and give Allen plenty of chances to finally get past Patrick Mahomes and company in the postseason. Here's where Allen's contract stacks up among other quarterbacks on a per-year basis. So I don't know why the tone in this article flipped from this is definitely a Brock Purdy re-signed with his team, and all of a sudden became about Josh Allen. I imagine that the author was just recycling a previous article about Josh Allen. But here is it's a little bit wonky, but I think you can pretty much follow what's going on here. This is copied from the article. Average per year money. Dak Prescott is number 1 in the NFL with $60 million per season. Now, we're going to get to something in a moment when we talk about a specific other quarterback that is a little bit alarming with his contract. But I think they have a plan in place. But Dak Prescott's making $60 million a year on a $240 million contract. Dak Prescott, 2-5 in the playoffs. That's rough. Defamiliarize the text. Would you rather have Patrick Mahomes or Dak Prescott? Josh Allen, $55 million a year. Joe Burrow, $55 million a year. And Trevor Lawrence, $55 million a year. And Jordan Love, $55 million a year. This is the second tier pay of quarterback. There are 4 guys in that same $55 million per year season. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and Jordan Love. Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl at least. If you were, here's the question. If you were a Bills or Bengals fan, would you be happy about paying your quarterback $55 million a year? Maybe not. Would you be happy about having Josh Allen or Joe Burrow as your quarterback? Absolutely. One step down in name recognition here. Would you be happy about paying Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love $55 million a year? Probably not. Would you be happy about having Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love as your quarterback? Maybe not. The next tier down, Tua is kind of on his own at $53.1 million, but we're going to put him in with Jared Goff at $53 million and Brock Purdy at $53 million. Jared Goff, 4-5 in the playoffs. Brock Purdy, 4-2 in the playoffs. At least Brock Purdy has a winning record. Jared Goff has been there quite a few more times, but he is a great deal older. And Tua is 0-1. You remember the 1. Then we have Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts. Somehow on this, so I'm not a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I don't know. So there are a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL that I would select in a sort of Madden-style draft where you get to take anybody that I would select ahead of Lamar Jackson. I don't know how Lamar Jackson is making less money than any of the quarterbacks ahead of him on this list. I don't know how Lamar Jackson is making $500,000 less this year than Justin Herbert. Jalen Hurts down there at 51. So here's the thing with Jalen Hurts. Before this past season, I could understand that. This past season, getting a Super Bowl ring makes that a difficult task to explain, right? He has a Super Bowl ring. He slayed the Dragon Mahomes, the KC Dragon. He slayed that dragon. He has a ring, something that no one ahead of him has. But there is one other quarterback you may have realized we didn't talk about at all. We'll get there. The article continues. The final 2 columns stand out. Only one of the 10 highest paid quarterbacks on the per year basis has won a Super Bowl, and it's Hurts, who is 10th. Of course, Mahomes has been in the way of many of these players lifting the Lombardi Trophy. His 10-year, $450 million extension signed in 2020 now ranks 15th richest among quarterbacks per year. But it remains the largest total value in NFL history. Patrick Mahomes is the 15th highest paid quarterback per season. Now, something I didn't realize until I was putting this together. Guys, the next 2 years on Mahomes' contract, brutal. 2026 cap hit of $78.2 million. 2027 cap hit of $74 million. But I think we have to understand that a lot of that is going to get moved around because immediately in 2028, that falls to 42. And by 2028, So in 2025, $48 million is $12 million below the highest paid quarterback in the league. By 2028, $48 million is going to be in the bottom 10 of the NFL. Almost guaranteed. Almost guaranteed. Well, I mean, there's a lot of potential for turnover in the next couple of years. There's a very strong quarterback rookie class coming, etc. But when we defamiliarize the text, when we make it new, looking at Patrick Mahomes making $28 million this season is absolutely disgusting. When Dak Prescott is making 60. Now, 78.2 next year and 74.3 the season after that. Those are rough numbers. I don't think we're going to see them. So, something blows up, right? This is a disastrous season for the Kansas City Chiefs for whatever reason. Not forecasting that, but those things happen in the NFL. Those things happen in the NFL all the time. Those things happen to teams basically every year, right? Teams that were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders go 4 and what's the new number now? 4-13. So it's possible that things blow up. In the event that they do, I think you could see Patrick Mahomes absorb a great deal of that $78.2 million next season as the Kansas City Chiefs look to regroup. I see no reason to believe that will be the case. The Chiefs return most of their moving pieces from last season and have taken the time and effort to add quite a few different role players, etc., for this season that should, if all things go at least mostly according to plan, should be another fairly successful season. So, I'm not sure what happens with the whole 78, 74 drop down to 42, 44, 45, 48, but it will be absolutely incredible to get there. It is the reason I'm making this video is because sometimes, even myself, I spend hours every week talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and sometimes, even in my efforts to analyze as much of this as I can, I lose sight of the fact that we are living through the absolute greatest time ever to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.